2:15, and it's time to get my first guests on and in. Tammy, Berrington and Christine Loveridge have joined me in the studio this afternoon. It's World Autism Awareness Week as of Saturday last weekend. I can say last weekend, we're in the past now, aren't we? It goes on until Friday the 8th of April. And Tammy, who comes from Rushton, is going to be highlighting the condition of autism from a very particular place, because she's got it. Welcome to Tammy and to Christine. Lovely to have you both in the studio.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Tammy, tell me first about your autism, because autism can come in different forms. Just how autistic are you, if I can put it that way?
I'm on the mild side, because there was different tests, and because that's why I got diagnosed so late, because it wasn't highly recognised in me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very mild, so I can cope with talking to people. My social interactions are a little bit better than those who are further on the spectrum.
Some people who have autism at the other end of the spectrum find it very difficult to interact with people. So
Yeah.
for them to be able to do what you're doing right now with me would be a really, really big deal.
It would. Even for me today, it's a big deal, but they'll find it a lot more challenging. And some autistic people can't talk, whereas a couple of them can.
You also occasionally suffer from anxiety attacks.
Yes.
What brings those on?
It's losing control, and it's if I don't know what's going on, or if I don't do things a certain way, like I have to check if my house is locked 3 times, I have to read like an even number of chapters. And
So that's day to day, that's regular life for you in that case. So how many times did you check before you came into Radio Northampton today that the house was spick and span on the way it should be?
Someone was in my house already, so it was...
Oh, you could just leave it as it was.
Yeah.
Do you have better days than others?
Yeah. Some days are really good. Some days I don't feel like I'm having a panic attack. I feel completely calm, collected. My Aspergers doesn't affect me some days.
So if you can plan your day and then stick to that plan, everything is, as near as damn it, normal. It's the way it should be.
Yeah.
When you have an attack, when you have an anxiety attack, what does that do to you as a person?
It sort of makes me not feel as strong as I usually am. Like something bad's going to happen if I didn't check my house 3 times. And
do things bad happen to you?
The day gets ruined for me because I'm too busy panicking, like the voices in my head, like, I feel really like you can't really breathe. And
how are you feeling now?
I'm okay. I'm a bit nervous but excited.
Don't worry, you're in good company. Lots of people do get nervous, and why wouldn't they? Here you are sitting in a padded cell talking to a microphone and a complete stranger. You're doing tremendously well at the moment. Certainly, I can see you every once in a while you rub your hands down your legs, and I can hear in your breath that you're slightly short of breath. Is that nerves?
I think so, yeah.
I think a lot of people will have that.
Some autistics and Aspergers, they suffer from like fidgeting as well.
Well, there's not too much fidgeting going on at the moment, and we did discuss what we were going to do whilst George Harrison was playing out, so hopefully things will be fairly straightforward for you. I mentioned that it is World Autism Awareness Week. The word autism is used quite often, and because there is the spectrum of autism, it can mean all kinds of things to all kinds of different people.
Yeah.
You are going to do something which many would consider to be brave. You're going to make a film about autism, and you're going to be doing with Christine, who's sat alongside you. Mm-hmm. What are you hoping to achieve from making the film?
I want the film to show girls who have Asperger's as that they are strong and they can do anything they want. Whereas a lot of films, they show autistic people being that they can't do anything. Well, this is showing them what they can do.
And you're emphasising girls, because often autism is associated with the male of the species rather than the female, I believe.
Yeah, it's more common in men, whereas girls sort of get left off the radar.
There's been quite a lot about autism recently. In fact, the BBC has been showing a number of programmes recently about the A word, the autism word. And it is a difficult thing to grasp when you realise that autism is sort of on a sliding scale. Where do you see your life in the future with autism? Is it something that you think you can conquer? Is it something where you have coping mechanisms? What is it going to mean to you in the longer term?
I see having Asperger's as a blessing rather than a curse. Like, for a real long time, when I first got diagnosed, I didn't understand why I was told I had this. I felt alone, whereas I started to look into more and I realised that having Asperger's makes me different in a good way, and that's what I choose to look at it as.
Now, that's fascinating because I was talking to John Peters last week about Asperger's, and we were talking about autism on the whole. Some companies actively look for people who are autistic because they have skills and capabilities that those who don't have autism, at whatever level, find to be really useful for business. You could almost have a competitive edge over somebody who doesn't have autism, and if you're going for the same job. Do you ever get the chance to see it that way?
More now that there's more information coming out about employers looking for people that have Asperger's. I think, I mean, it makes me feel proud to say, you know, that I have a competitive edge for just being me.
And that's where Flying the Flag comes from, in terms of broadening people's awareness of autism. Christine, let me come to you. You are not autistic, but you're Tammy's friend.
Yes.
The two of you are going to become filmmakers.
Yeah.
You've made films before, I believe?
Yeah, we've made films together. This is our second film away from uni that we've done together. Our first one was out in February, which was an LGBT movie. So we do hit the serious subjects, the subjects that matter, I believe.
And where do you get an audience for your work?
On YouTube. We release it on YouTube for free for everyone to see, on Vimeo as well. I'll make sure that we post it too, because our characters are young people. So we post it on places like Tumblr, and we get lots of views actually from that.
The film isn't yet made, so
No.
at the moment it's in the planning and preparation stage.
Yeah, it's in pre-production.
What are you going to do? Are you going to have an acted film? Are you going to have a documentary? What kind of film will it be?
Well, it's a narrative film. But like Tammy said, we're going to focus on the positives rather than the negative, because I'm not saying this is a true statistic, but most programs that you see focus on the things that autistic people can't do, and it's the same with any mental illness or condition. You know, you see a lot of things that are really negative, but in this we want to make it inspirational and to give people a little bit of hope that do suffer from Asperger's.
So how are you going to achieve that?
Well, it's mostly in the story, really. It's about, Tammy, do you want to explain?
Yeah, it's about a young girl. She's just got told she has Asperger's, and all she can see in the leaflets are about men who have Asperger's. So she wants to change that, and in doing so, she helps herself and other people.
And that's going to be, as Christine says, a narrative piece.
Yeah.
How autobiographical is it going to be? How based on real-life experiences of whoever will that film be?
In a lot of what the main character's saying is what I felt when I was her age. So in that sense, it's very autobiography of what very like me in the role.
And how old is your central character going to be? If part of the film is autobiographical, is it going to be you as you are aged now, or is it looking back at an earlier stage in life?
It was back when I first got diagnosed at 15, so the character's 16. So
that's a really important stage in your life at the age of 15.
Yeah.
Everything's starting to happen.
Yeah.
And everything's starting to happen with your peer group as well. How did people treat you when you were that age?
I just left school at that point, so it was going to college and sort of trying to fit in, whereas in the summer I got told that I had Asperger's, so it was quite hard. I didn't really talk about it. I sort of just accepted the fact that I was weird.
Weird?
Yeah.
Weird?
Yeah. Because obviously I got told I had a male condition, because there wasn't a lot of females who had it like that, that I was hearing about. But I found people that accepted me for who I was and sort of made it easy.
I don't want to drag you too hard back to the word weird, but I'm fascinated that you should have used the word weird. Did you yourself feel as though you were weird or just different?
I felt a bit like different and weird. Like, I saw people that could talk easily and have like massive groups of friends, and I wasn't really that person. I sort of sat alone and talked to like older people more.
You sort of felt like a bit of an outcast, didn't you? Yeah.
Must have made you a very good observer, though.
Yeah.
So you have certain skills. In as much as you can watch people in a group, you can perhaps see the various characteristics of people. That may well help you when it comes to filmmaking.
Yeah, like I hope so. I try to write characters that sort of are different and sort of have special skills and that are alone in the world but are really happy to be there and sort of want to make a difference.
Christine says that you've made films already. You made one for the LGBT community.
Yeah.
How empowered did you feel through the process of making a movie, given that you have autism and it's the subject that you are now going to turn your attention to, as opposed to the LGBT community?
I thought it was such a beautiful story, and I felt it's where I feel the most confident. Even though I do have some nerves, it's because I get to sort of be a different person for a day. Watching.
Well, the great thing about Tammy is that she's really good at getting things done. Where I'm a bit of a procrastinator, she's so on it. You know, she if I ask her to change the script a little bit, she'll do it straight away. She'll get me a new draft within like a day. So
who's going to be directing this? Who's going to be producing this? Or are you just going to share everything very sort of in a very sort of egalitarian and democratic way?
Well, the last film that we did was sort of my baby, and we're saying that this is Tammy's baby. So Tammy's going to be doing pretty much nearly everything, but I'm going to be the cinematographer, so I'll be properly helping with sound as well. And
how big a cast are you going to have for this? I mean, cast and crew. There's the two of you sitting here, and we've discovered already that it's going to be a narrative piece. So you're going to have actors, which means you're going to have to do some directing. Just how big a cast and crew are you going to have for this?
Well, we want to try and keep it as minimal as possible because there is only like about 3 or 4 characters in the entire script. But also with us, we'll be over 5 people, definitely. It'll be around somewhere between 5 and 10 people. So we'll try and keep it nice and tight and close net. But
and have you any idea as to what length of film you're going to end up with?
Well, at the moment, the script's about 14 pages, and they say one page of script is a minute on film, so it'll be about 15 minutes long.
About 15 minutes by the time you've got it finished.
Yeah.
Once you've got it finished, you're going to put it up onto social media. You've mentioned there are various platforms that people can watch, whether it's YouTube or Vimeo or wherever it might be. Are you trying to make this from the point of view of this is the authoritative view of what autism is about, or is it this is my experience, take out of it what you will?
It's more of my experience. It's sort of to show that girls who do have Asperger's do suffer, but they shouldn't let it affect them. And it's sort of just to raise more awareness in girls.
And what do you want people to do as a result of seeing the film? What's the call to action? I
just want them to understand that, you know, in your friend group there could be someone there who has Asperger's, but it gets overlooked, and to sort of just be kind to everyone because everyone is going through a battle they might not realise yet. Now, this is going to produce certain pressures, presumably, because you're both creative people. Mm-hmm.
You're going to have actors that will want to act.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're going to have sound people who will need direction. Are you gearing yourself up in a particular way to deal with the pressures of making a movie? Because I've been involved in a couple of films and films for television, and I've seen the pressures, and sometimes it can be a bit combative between people. Are you ready for that?
Yeah. I'd say we are. Preparation is key. The more prepared we are, the easier it will be. So as long as we're prepared and we know what we're doing and everyone else knows that what they're doing, then it should be fine. And even though Tammy's directing it and producing it and writing the script for it, I'm always there if she needs someone to lean on and for the extra support. So.
Does the film have a working title yet?
It's called Chasing Rainbows.
Chasing Rainbows is what we need to look out for in that case.
Yeah.
You go to film when?
End of April, early May.
Okay, and production, I mean, you're talking about a 15-minute film by the time the script has been cut, knocked about, edited, and so on and so forth. When do you hope to have the finished article, given that right now it is Awareness Week, Awareness Month for Asperger's?
Well, I think we're aiming to get it released for the summer.
Yeah.
But of course, when this week turns around again, we'll obviously promote the film again, and you know, we'll share it again on our socials, and again to get people more awareness of what's going on.
Do you think there might be an opportunity, perhaps, for somebody to come in and say, "Okay, you've made the film. How about having a formal screening? Could you perhaps do something like that rather than just putting it up on social media and waiting to see what happens?"
Yeah, that's definitely something to look into. We would probably look into that when we've finished the film.
All right. Well, it's a blockbuster on its way in that case. We're talking about it during World Autism Awareness Week. It started on Saturday, goes on till Friday of this week. Christine Loveridge, who is the friend and fellow filmmaker of Tammy Berrington, she who has Asperger's and ADHD, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those two together.
Yeah.
Good on you. Good luck for the shoot.
Thank you.
Good luck for the edit. Good luck in keeping control.
Thank you.
Have a fantastic time with
Thank
it.
you so much.
Let us know when it's up there,
We will.
up on the various sites, and we'll direct people to it. Or maybe if there is going to be a screening, we could perhaps get something out about that as well on Radio
Absolutely.
Northampton.
Yep.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Bye.